Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It is such a beautiful day here. The sun is shining, and I hope that it is shining where you are too. We just got back from a very wonderful vacation. The sun was amazing. The Florida heat was so welcomed, and I'm just feeling so refreshed and rejuvenated, and just feel so grateful that I get to start my Monday off talking to you all. And we're going to talk about the importance of water. And I hope that you can take away something that you can start implementing right now for your life, not just for you. We are getting into spring and summer, which means the temperatures are going to be rising, which typically just helps us drink more water in general versus the cold indoor winters. So hopefully, just with the weather change, you can feel more hydrated and feel more apt to drink water just with that simple change. But also take these tips and this knowledge to your children and to your sports teams because kids get so dehydrated and they're eating, some sugary snacks at the ball field. They're running around. They're out on the field early and staying late. Even on those cool days, just make sure that your athlete is hydrated. So use this knowledge not just for yourself, but take it back to your families. We are in full spring for spring sports too. So this is knowledge that we bring to our kids' teams, and that we preach to our twins. They're 12, that their hydration, their electrolytes, their energy, their clarity, how they recover all stems from water and making sure that they're hydrated, not just with water, but with electrolytes, and not just with Gatorade, but with good, clean ingredients, things that fuel them and bring them better performance instead of bogging them down. So I hope that you can walk away feeling empowered, feeling knowledgeable, feeling like you learned something, but most importantly, that you can walk away with a tool or two to start implementing right away in your routine. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and we are going to get started here. Okay, so we're going to learn how to hydrate, fuel, and move, the power of water, electrolytes, and fitness, and why three things are non-negotiable for your health. So why water matters. 60% of your body is water. Every cell, every organ and system relies on it. So even mild hydration, fatigue, brain fog, cravings, bloating, lack of sleeping well, lack of energy throughout the day, one simple swap, one simple habit that you can start to do is to drink more water. I tell clients all the time, it is the simplest habit to change your health, but it is often one of the most difficult ones to do consistently. There's a plethora of obstacles, right? Like what kind of water, meetings, being able to refill your water bottle throughout the day if you're in an office or maybe you're out and about and you're driving, that can be difficult. The biggest obstacle is how often can you go to the bathroom? And I know that those are real and those are real life, but what I want you to just start to think about is that how can we make our water habits better? Okay, so wherever you're at, it's one of those often questions. If you've been a client of ours personally, you know that we're going to ask you, how much water do you drink a day? And that is just for us to get a baseline so that we can give you that next goal. Because if I tell you today to go drink 100 ounces of water and you're only drinking 20, 100 ounces is going to feel doable, so far-fetched, and you're going to feel like a bloated blimp by the end of the day. But if I tell you, hey, we're drinking 30 ounces right now, let's get up to 50. And then we break it down and figure out how to do that. Okay. We need water. We could go weeks without food. Our body will adapt. It'll adapt, it'll figure it out, it'll go into our fat stores and it'll pull energy from there. But you can only go a few days without water. It is not an option. It is not something that we can just live without. It is a daily decision. It's a daily necessity. It is not a luxury, and it will affect your mood, your metabolism, your energy, and most importantly, as a perimenopausal/menopausal woman, your digestion and how you feel throughout the day, how your cycles are, how your fluctuations are, and how well your body can detoxify. So, water is not just a fun little fad about carrying your cute cup around and getting in water. It is essential to your results, no matter what goal you have. Okay. So the first step is I just want you to think about right now, today, in this moment, just take like 30 seconds. How much water are you drinking a day? Right? Like if you were just to say, on average, I'm drinking, and I want you to just fill that out in your brain. Okay. And then I want you to just like add 20 ounces to it. And that's your first goal to get above. Okay. If you're at 100 ounces, I wouldn't go above 120. I think going above 100, above a gallon is not needed. All right, so if you're at 100 ounces, if you're one of the unicorns that are already there, then I would stay in between 100 and 120. If you're at 60, if you're at 30, if you're at 15, I would definitely increase your water and get that up, okay? Signs you're dehydrated. So we often think of being dehydrated and like we haven't had water in days, right? Like, but dehydration presents itself in so many ways that we kind of attribute to something else along the way, or I didn't sleep well, or it was a rough night, or I'm stressed. But it could also like mean you're dehydrated. You're just not drinking enough water for what your body needs. Everyone has different levels of what they need too, okay? So couple symptoms and signs that you're dehydrated: low energy, headaches, constipation or bloating, dry skin, brittle nails, and cravings, especially if you're craving salty and sugary foods and you're under drinking water. It's often linked together. Okay. I can attest to this myself. Like I know when I'm drinking enough water, how well my bloat feels with my belly by the end of the day, because what that helps is kind of along with fiber, it kind of pushes things out and it gets that good digestion moving along. Um, but I also can tell with headaches and migraines, making sure that I'm getting good, adequate water and electrolytes, which we'll talk about in a little bit, um, are all signs that I'm not drinking enough water. And that doesn't mean just one day. That just means like, oh, for the last 3 or 4 days, I've noticed that I'm feeling these things. I'm probably not drinking enough water. I need to up it. If you're tired all the time, if your digestion's off, your skin feels dull or dry, like not just your face, but your all your skin, right? Your whole body. Start drinking water. Often it's the simplest things that can fix the big things. So, kind of going back to what we just talked about, I want you to see how much water you're drinking and if you're experiencing any of these symptoms. If you are, you definitely need to increase your water. Okay? Um, so thinking about that and going, oh, how do I do that? Like waking up and having 8 ounces. When you get home from work, having 8 ounces. That's 16 ounces of water without adding a whole nother jug to your day, right? Like that's a significant increase. So making small little changes throughout the day can be incredibly powerful to help you with your energy, keep headaches at bay, keep that mid-afternoon bloat or constipation down, but also help your skin, brittle nails, and keep your cravings at bay. Hydration needs are more than just water. You often heard this. This is another big buzzword, another big product you're probably seeing all over social media. Waking up and having electrolytes before caffeine. And there's some truth to that, okay? And I've talked to a lot of clients, and I am a big proponent of electrolytes. I have one every morning. I've mixed it with 24 ounces of water, and I drink that before I have my breakfast. So electrolytes are your sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium. They regulate your nerves, muscles, hydration, and your blood pressure. And these are all lost through sweat, stress, if you have caffeine and alcohol. Okay, so you may have heard this, you may have not, but caffeine makes you more thirsty. Caffeine dehydrates you, it sucks out that sodium, potassium, and magnesium. So just to think about it, we wake up, right? We're 40, 45 years old. We're going through all these hormonal changes. We wake up from maybe a choppy night of sleep, and our body is already dehydrated because we haven't had water in maybe 12 hours minimum from the time we went to sleep to the time we wake up. And the first thing we do is have caffeine. Well, what does caffeine do? It dehydrates you. It pulls all that sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium. And so when that's the first thing that we have, we're pulling out the electrolytes that we've that like the minimal ones that we already woke up with. We're adding in caffeine, which is adding to our stress, which stress also pulls our electrolytes, right? So we have two things working against us just by having that caffeine right away in the morning. And then we're probably feeling a little fatigued later on the day because we're low on electrolytes and we started our cortisol system off with some caffeine. So there is a lot of science-backed research that we can start off with some electrolytes that will help replenish our body. You might feel like a wave of like, I'm awake, a wave of alertness. Maybe your fingers depuff when you're drinking water in the morning. And your muscles start to feel better. They don't ache as much. Your joints don't ache as much because we're getting in this good hydration with electrolytes. Our muscles are being fed and fueled, and our blood pressure is coming down or coming up, whatever one we need it to do. It's regulating all of that instead of stressing our body out. Okay. If you're working out, if you're working outside in a hot area, so you're sweating, if you're under a lot of stress, it's just not enough to have plain water. And we can drink too much water. That will be another day, another video. But we need to replenish those electrolytes. Without the electrolytes, we're just flushing our system without fueling it. Now, from a workout perspective, let's say you want to wake up, have some water, then you have a meal, then you have a pre-workout or your coffee for some caffeine. We delay the caffeine, and that'll help your brain tell you that you're awake on your own. You don't need support, and that will help you feel more alert throughout the day. And then we go into our workout, and you can drink your electrolytes while you're working out to help replenish the electrolytes that you're losing through your workout with the ones that you're drinking in your water. Okay. So they are important. It is not a fad. It is not just something that's gonna, swing on by. They've been around for a long time. This is where I would highly recommend getting in a quality electrolyte that has low sugar. Okay, I really love Relight. I know there's a couple other brands that are good suggestions, but think about low sugar. If they taste really sweet, they probably have some sweetener in it. I like Relight. It's like a sweet, salty taste. So like the flavor's sweet. There's no sugar, but you can taste the sodium. You can taste it's salty. It's the Redmond Salt brand, and it's just wonderful. So a couple different flavors. I love too that they have sticks. They also have kid sticks. So to bring that into your whole family, again, thinking about that whole process as we go into outdoor sports. Um, so when you move your body, you boost your balance. Okay, so movement stimulates digestion, lymph node flow right here. So we're getting this out and detox. Exercise increases your thirst. So hopefully, just by exercising, we're also building in this hello hydration habit, right? When we work out, we drink more water. So getting in some movement can help you get your muscle or get some extra water in as well. Stronger muscles equals better hydration at the cellular level. We want to take care of our cells. Our cells are what are building us up and replenishing. And so if we can start taking care of them now, when they start to turn over repeatedly, we're going to have such good, vibrant, healthy cells. And that is going to help us kind of age in reverse. So it's so important, okay? It's taking care of our body at a cellular level. When you move your body regularly, you naturally crave more water, you absorb nutrients better, and you regulate your hormones more efficiently, okay? So when we're exercising, we're drinking more water, we're replenishing with electrolytes, and our body starts to feel really, really good. Your daily hydration and your fitness checklist, okay? So these are just a few little tips, a few little moments to just increase your hydration, okay? So starting your day, I said 8 ounces, you could do 16, and I do 24. So again, if you're at 0, start with 8. If you're at 8, go to 16. If you're at 16, ask yourself, do I need more water through the day? If the answer is yes, then try to jump to 24. Okay. So increasing that baseline of where you're at in the morning and kind of front loading your day. So when we wake up and we have that 8 to 24 ounces, we're chances are pretty high that we get to use a bathroom before we have to get into the car for our commute, either to bring the kids to school or for your job. And then when you get to work, you can drink your 30-ounce, 40-ounce cup throughout the day. Okay, so now we're at 56 ounces of water. Now, let's say after work, you have some movement planned and you are, have drank all your water, so you can fill another cup, you can grab a plastic bottle and you have another 16 ounces. And now we're at 66 ounces and we haven't even really tried, right? Like we've front loaded it, we've had some while we worked out, and then we drank our fancy cup throughout the day. I personally also like to add in electrolytes after lunch, that mid-afternoon slump time. When you want to reach for caffeine, I would love for you to try to reach for some electrolytes. Okay. So you can use them during workouts. I think up to 2 times a day is sufficient for electrolytes. You can't overdo it. Your body's just going to flush it out anyway. But I think sometimes that afternoon drag can start to happen, and adding in some electrolytes can be one way to really help wake up your body in a good, healthy, non-stimulating, non-stressful way like caffeine can. Make it simple. I think one of the best things you can do is put some boundaries around, and these boundaries are to create freedom. Their boundaries and routines are there so that you know what comes next. So my morning anchor habits are I wake up, I do make my pre-workout and creatine, then I make my electrolyte water, and then I fill this up. So in the morning, I have all the drinks that I'm going to need for the day. It's done. I don't have to worry about it. I'll fill this up one more time after lunch so that I have it for that second set of the day. That gets me to 60 plus my 24. That's 84 ounces. Plus, if I have greens or if I have another electrolyte, so I get up to about 100 ounces. And I don't even feel like I have to really try too hard to do it because of the way that it's balanced throughout my day. So if I want coffee, I have to have 8 ounces of water before that. I can have my electrolytes midday. I can add in some movement, grab a bottle of water, and pay attention to your body's signal. If you start to feel tired, so let's say like in between 11 and 3 is typically when a client will tell me they're feeling a little fatigued. We've been up maybe since 5, we've done a lot of work, we've had a cup of coffee, we've had breakfast. I always suggest you need to eat and you need some electrolytes. You need to make sure you're in check with your water. Okay. So even if we're like, oh, I've had, 30 ounces because I had 30 ounces. I woke up at 5:30. I did a workout and I had some. I had 30 ounces before 9, but now you've gone 3 or 4 hours without. You need to have some water. Okay. So getting in those simple boundaries of I have this in the morning, so that's my setup at 24 ounces before 8 a.m. Now I drink, I'll just walk you through my day. Now I drink this between 8 and 12. This is 30 ounces. Then I fill this up again and I have that for the rest of the day. But I also add in another electrolyte and I also have like a bubbly water, especially like tonight we're doing sports. So I'll have a bubbly water to break up some fun for the night. Um, and those are those boundaries. So this has to be finished by noon, and then I have another one that has to be finished by the end of the night, and then I add in a couple more waters. So figuring out what that regimen can look like for you in terms of what works so that you can go to the bathroom, what feels safe, what feels doable, and what feels consistent. Okay, I'm just paying attention. If I'm feeling a little lethargic and my energy's draining, have I had any water today? Have I had my electrolytes yet? And if the answer is no, start there before you add in any more caffeine for your day. Hydration plus fuel plus fitness is sustainable health. When you're hydrated and nourished, you think clearer, you move better, and you feel more alive, more alert, and more like you. We don't feel like this tired, rundown version of yourself. And that just starts with drinking water. It is a free habit. We just have to remember to do it. And we have to put some excuses to the side. It can't be, oh, I always have to go to the bathroom. It was annoying. I'm telling you, at Busch Gardens, like having to go to the bathroom all the time. But I also felt better. I also didn't crave as much food. I didn't feel puffy walking around the park because it was hot. I was sweating, so I was replenishing my body. We just spent the whole time in Florida, and I just kept this by me. I knew that my energy needed to stay up. I knew that this extra sun, the extra heat, the extra sweating was going to dehydrate me, and I needed to stay on it. Despite how many trips I was going to go to the bathroom, it was a really great way to get some extra steps when I couldn't get my walks in. So if you're at, you know your schedule and you know that like, oh, I have a good 2 hour break before I have to get on some calls, I would be chugging this water. Like I'm going to do this right now. I have 30 minutes for my next call. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to go to the bathroom because then I'm on calls for the next 2 hours and I really don't have time. You know your schedule well enough to be able to say, okay, it's I can drink. I gotta get this water in because I can go to the bathroom before this meeting. Like it is tedious stuff, but it is such a simple habit that is going to make an impactful difference in your health. And it's so simple. It is so simple. It is the most underused fitness health tool that you can use that is free. It's at your fingertips and you are in control of it. You get to decide. You don't have to go anywhere. There's water always readily available. And I will always pack one and have water bottles in the cooler. Like I will always be prepared, right? But it is because I know the value of this habit and what it's going to do for me, how it's going to help me sleep, how it's going to help my digestion, how it's going to keep cravings away, it's going to keep me full and satisfied, it's going to help my skin, it's going to help me get through my workouts, my electrolytes are going to replenish me so I have more energy. It is such an amazing tool, and I hope that you can lean in for 5 days. Figure out what that water goal is for yourself. Lean in for 5 days and hit that water goal. Increase by 20 ounces from wherever your baseline is right now. Give it your all, and I guarantee you're going to feel different come Saturday morning after 5 days of drinking more water. I hope you took something from this. I hope you can get off this call feeling empowered with what a great tool is in front of you by just simply drinking water and being able to consistently get this habit in. I'm with you. I'm doing this challenge right along with you. Being intentional, being mindful, and being prepared so that I'm not going, oh, I'm thirsty, or oh shoot, it's 5 o'clock and I only drank 20 ounces. Be diligent, be intentional, and set yourself up for success. This week is going to be beautiful. We're going to set you up with some knowledge, with some actionable items that you can take along with you beyond this week and to share with your family.